Welcome to Innovative Strategies with Bill Hasse. Innovative Strategy is a show designed to help people with their business and personal financial literacy, but not in the way that you have known. This is not your grandpa's financial literacy, as Bill uses his 30-plus years in the financial industry to stretch your financial box from, let's say about a 30,000-foot view of things. Bill and his guests have helped hundreds of clients achieve and surpass their financial goals. If you have any questions, please email Bill at Bill@BillHasse, that's Bill at BillHasse.com, or reach out to him right here at 216thenet@gmail.com.
Morning, Drew.
Hey, Billy, how you doing, bud?
Good. How are you?
Good. It's Friday. I'll take that. You guys got me in my workout gear, so after the show today, according to my wife, that's where I need to be.
Well, hearing about your morning, you probably need to work off some tension.
Yes, true statement.
Difficulties. Last week was a first for me when we were in the new studio. Now this week is another first for me that I'm actually doing it from home. I get back-to-back meetings, but so I get the experience that our guests go through when they come on the show,
which is awesome. It looks like you're working off a brand new Shure microphone over there. Wow, that's pretty fancy.
Yeah, actually, this was a gift from a friend of mine.
Nice.
Over at iHeart.
You're all dialed in, man.
Yeah. It was a surprise and a nice gift, but I told you I was just looking for one, and lo and behold, literally like 2 days later, one shows up. But
I gotta get those friends.
Yeah, it's fun. But let's bring our guests here in. This is a special show today. I've got a friend of mine. He's from down in near the Dallas, Texas area, Flower Mound, Texas. That I got to meet last fall. We were both attending an event down there, and I heard his story, and it's remarkable. And so I couldn't help but try and drag him on the show, and we finally got him here. We have Grayson Soderholm here, and welcome, Grayson. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, I want you to explain to us. You're an entrepreneur, and you're going to be 15 years old next month.
Yep.
And you're already on your third business. How did you get going? How did you get started?
Right. So really it all started because I'm part of a military family, right? So my dad was in the Navy. He was on deployment for 26 years. And so we lived in Japan for 7 years of my life. And for the last year living in Japan, the last few years I can remember, we were, riding the train to school and everything. And we kind of were forced to be independent. And not that it was a bad thing, but a great thing, especially for me. And I'm so grateful for that because it's really built my independence and my drive for doing things for myself nowadays, right? So, for example, I started my lemonade stand business as my first business. And the reason why I started it was because I was 9 years old at the time. We had just moved to Texas from Japan, like I said. And, I wanted a toy, but I wanted to buy it for myself this time, not just asking for my parents, right?
Yeah.
So I realized that the problem was I didn't have any money, and the solution was I needed to make money. So I think honestly, the main the title of my journey is like a problem and solution journey. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I realized that problem, found the solution, and I was like, okay, like any other kid does, have a lemonade stand, right? But my lemonade stand was just like any other lemonade stand. I wanted to grow it for as long as I could. Until it got a little weird, going into high school, kind of weird to have a lemonade stand.
Okay,
so
yeah.
Before that, though, I did have another interest, which was mailbox number application. So basically, in my area, it's a really nice area, right? But the problem was that there weren't any numbers on some of the mailboxes. So I went on Etsy and with my mother, and we found some stickers we could put on the mailboxes that were very professional. They were waterproof, weatherproof, right? And I would go door to door and, ask them if I could put them on the mailboxes. get paid $17 per. Sometimes they would tip, and it would be a great business, but in the end, it wasn't sustainable, right? So going
Okay.
into high school, I was looking through different other, I guess journeys, right? Like window cleaning. So I did
New opportunities. Yeah.
exactly. I did my research. I prayed about it, and I found window cleaning. And here I am. I've now been running my window cleaning business for over a year and a half, and we have over 300 clients that I service in the DFW area. Yes, sir.
Over 300 clients.
Yep. Yes, sir.
That's fantastic. How many employees do you have now?
So I had, let's see, I would say probably 2 or 3 right now.
Okay.
One's in college, so he's kind of back and forth, right? But
Gotcha.
mainly two.
Mainly 2. Okay, because that's a lot of jobs
Yep.
for 2 people. That keeps
Yeah,
you real.
so 3 people in total. It's like I do a lot of them by myself. A lot of them are residential. So
Okay.
I also have school to do, of course, right? So I do it online. I do an online Christian academy.
Okay.
But I have to kind of manage my schedule in a way that works for doing my school at specific times of the day, and then in the middle of that is usually when I work.
Gotcha. Yeah, you keep pretty busy. I've had the privilege and honor of meeting your parents, Rob and Rita, and we broke some bread down in Dallas together for lunch one day and had a great conversation. Um, Amazing what you're doing and what you've done.
Thanks.
You're still looking? Do you feel this is sustainable now that you can just keep this growing? This is what you want to do?
We are very much growing right now. We are extremely busy, and I'm so looking forward to this year.
Are you looking to hire more people?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
I'm definitely hiring people right now.
How hard do you find that to be?
It's a little hard, have to find the responsibility and the work ethic, right?
Yeah.
The grit is a very, very big factor of it, wanting to get out there and, hold that heavy pole for a while, right? And it's like, because, I have lots of different equipment, and I have to be able to trust them with that and be able to teach them to use that equipment properly and know that they're going to do a good job, right?
Well, that's awesome. I know that you raised the money, you raised the capital in order to buy all the equipment, and that's no small amount. Um, I know, we've had the conversations and such, but it's amazing what you're doing. It's incredible. It's inspiring. But so do you feel this was just inside of you? Did this something come to you? You just decided one day, I want to buy a toy, so I need to make money. And
well, really, I wanted at the time a tech deck. It's called a tech deck. It was like a mini skateboard figurine, and when I wanted that, I was like, I want to be able to do that for myself and have that responsibility, say that I did it myself, right?
Yeah.
And so doing my research and figuring out a lemonade stand was probably the best thing to do at the time as that age, I went out and I just did it. And when I made that first sale, right, I got a couple bucks. It was a win-win situation, right? I felt good from that. Wished the customer the greatest of their day. That was really what sparked an interest in entrepreneurship for me.
Okay. And it wasn't just any old lemonade stand.
Yeah.
If I recall from our conversations before, I think you had a little bit more to it.
Right. It did have a secret ingredient, I made it sweeter. And at the lemonade stand, probably about 2 or 3 years after I started it, I did have a really nice looking banner as well. So it said Lemonade, Lakeside Lemonade Kid. I had an Instagram account. Yes, it was very professional.
Yeah, and you had flavors too, didn't you? And for an added cost, you could add some flavors to it and whatnot.
Yes.
So you were expanding.
Yes.
And you were, but you get this. I mean, you get it's sustainable. You realized, okay, I need to pivot because I'm getting into high school, and lemonade stands really, kind of outgrowing that. And you pivoted over to you happen to notice that there were no numbers on the mailboxes.
Yes.
In your neighborhood, and immediately you come up with an idea of a business.
Right.
And that business is actually where you earned enough money in order to get to the business you really wanted to get to, right? The window washing.
Exactly. It was just a step on my journey, a step that God had me take.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any other aspirations and going forward?
I want to remain faith-based. I'm a very strong Christian, and I cannot do any of this without Jesus. He is the Lord of my life and guides me on every single day with my business.
Well,
And
that's awesome. But I don't know if I told you that, but this is a Christian radio station.
awesome.
So we pride ourselves on that. So that's outstanding. But you said you're looking forward to this year. What plans are in the works for this year?
In about a month or two, I'm buying a truck because I'm turning 15 next month, so I'll have my permit, right?
Yeah.
But I'm looking for employees, as I said. So let's say I had an employee who's over the age of 21. They had their driver's license, and I have my truck. Obviously, I can't drive that by myself, but if they were in the car, I could actually drive it myself. So therefore, I could have my decal, my wrap on there, right? Because GK's window cleaning, and I'll be able to run it without having to be driven around by drivers, and it'd be more profitable, of course. But I'm definitely looking forward to that because it'll be in the next month or two when I get that truck.
Okay.
And my sales are going higher, right? It's just everything's great. I'm loving it. Very blessed.
Well, that's incredible. What kind of truck are you looking to get?
I'm thinking either a Ford Ranger or a Toyota Tacoma.
Gotcha. Now, and you're buying it under the company name.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
You know what's going on. You know what to be doing. And I didn't know a 15-year-old could buy a car though.
It might have to be under my dad's name because my dad's name is on the bank account, right?
Okay.
But I do have a business bank account, so I'll be able to put it under GK's window cleaning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's outstanding. And so you're going to get your permit right away, I'm assuming then.
Yeah, the day I turn 15, I'm gonna try and go out there and get it. That'd be so awesome. Yep.
And that's next month.
Yep. It's this month, March 23rd.
That's outstanding. Oh, this month.
Yep.
Oh, that's true. We just started.
Yep.
Meteorological spring, I believe we call it.
Yes.
But so what are your plans going for this year as far as growth? What do you see as growth?
Bigger numbers for sure. That's a representation of my busyness, of course. Not business, but busyness, right? Honestly, just that, right? Knowing that I have this amount of people per week and being able to pace out my school at the same time is my biggest goal, right? Because,
yeah.
So curious questions to that, Grayson. How hard is it to manage both for you between school? Obviously, you have stuff at home that you're responsible for as well, and the businesses that you carry. What are some of the challenges that you face?
Time management. Time management is very hard. It's a very hard thing to do. With school online, it's very, very nice because I don't have to go in person. I do an online Christian academy, so I can pace out my assignments online, right? I can do a specific amount per day. I can do them at nighttime, in the morning, and then do my real work, in the middle of the day.
Okay. And for marketing your window business, what are some of the key points that you found work better in order to market correctly?
It's a great question. I would say just being able to present yourself well, being personable, and showing that you have the drive to every single person you meet, right? Because every single person you meet can know 5 other people, and that could get you 10 other opportunities, right?
I love it. Building relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
You build those relationships and they all say, I got a guy.
Exactly.
That's pretty much how that works. I love it, man. You're a smart kid.
Thank you.
And when I say kid, I use that word lightly because you're a young man.
I'm still a young man. I'm still a kid.
Yep. And so, now you're getting your truck, right? And you got some employees. On the Windows side, and maybe I missed this, but on the Windows side, how many clients do you currently have?
Probably, I say about 300. It's most likely a little over, but we're definitely crossing that number right now.
Wow, that's good business, man. Yeah,
thank you.
That's fantastic. And you have obviously a website, correct?
Yes. Yep.
And what is it when people want to reach out to you? Where do they go for that?
They can either do my number, obviously my website has a request form. I do Google ads, so I'm advertising my website at the same time. But people can go to my website. It'll say request a quote. They fill out a big form. Not a big form, but you know what I mean. A very detailed form, so I can get a good understanding of their home, what they would like done, and the quote details, right? They can go to my number, my email.
And what is your email?
My email is gkswindowcleaning@gmail.com.
Nice. You heard it, folks. If you're local to Grayson, feel free to shoot him an email to get a quote and you know, have some really good windows cleaned for your business, for your house. Is it for both, Grayson?
Yes, sir. Commercial and residential.
Awesome.
So
feel free to call me Drew, by the way. Sir is my father. That's all right.
Okay. Yes, sir, Mr. Drew.
You got it. I love it.
Any chance of you opening up a branch here in Chicagoland?
Oh, maybe soon.
Why not?
Franchise, no, I'm joking.
Franchise, baby, franchise.
Yeah. That it's a active business. I know a number of people that are in the cleaning business, and they've all done very, very well. And some in Florida and some up here, but you're my first in Dallas. How many more employees do you think you need? Because are you getting to the point where you're kind of maxed out with what employees you have versus what work can be done?
I'm definitely looking for more. I'm constantly looking for more.
Yeah.
You know, just better accessibility with the car situations. As you know, it's very, very frustrating whenever I'm not able to just get out there and go do that quote. I have to have a driver, right? And I have to pay the money for that driver, right? And I have to pay that gas. And it's like kind of diminishing in a way because I like that responsibility. And I do have a golf cart. I did buy a golf cart a little under a year ago, so I can do my local areas, right?
Okay.
But I want to be able to expand out and do see, window cleaning, it's a great business because you can go out and meet new people. I love meeting new people. I love talking to people. I love meeting new people, right? So being able to be in a different environment rather than like a brick and mortar place, right?
Yeah.
I like being in different environments, meeting different people, and being able to have the opportunities, right?
Well, you're very good at it. When we first met, and you're not shy, you're not aggressive. You're just I like the fact that you just be you. You know, I'm just Grayson, and that's who I am. This is what you get. And not trying to be anything that you aren't. And I love that because again, we had that beautiful conversation down at the farmers market down in Dallas. At lunch, but that was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But so what would be your plans going forward as far as school goes? I mean, you've got these businesses, you've got this mindset. Is college something that you think about?
No, sir. I'm definitely not going to college. I don't need it, and my family is a bit against it. You know, the way it's built out, the system, and everything. So my path is definitely not college. I'm going to grow my business and expand into different areas as well.
You know, those who know me know I'm on the same side as you are. I'm not a big fan of college. I know it's a major issue with the middle class people spending too much money on education, and it harms them financially. But so you've already got your idea. Do you have any other businesses that you're thinking about building?
Window cleaning is my main right now. I'm obviously not. My life's passion isn't to clean windows. It's being an entrepreneur, of course. But I do want to eventually do, lawn care, maybe landscaping in the future, right? But definitely whenever I'm able to hit that cap of what I can do at the time, right, in window cleaning, and then maybe start the others as well, right?
Yeah.
Well, one at a time for sure, because if I do like 3 businesses at the same time, my mind isn't 100% focused. I want to be able to have a mind 100% focused on one business.
No, that's fantastic. That's awesome. I commend you, knowing that you need that 100% focus. But obviously, you have that. You've got over roughly 300 clientele. So But that does sound like something you could move into, especially with your commercial properties. You might be able to do that landscaping and other businesses and grow. But that's part of being an entrepreneur is first you got to build a business, then you got to manage a business. And managing the business sometimes isn't for everybody, isn't for every entrepreneur. I'm not one who likes to manage a business. I like to grow them and then turn them over to someone else and go grow another one. But everybody's different. So what's your favorite thing about the cleaning business and building this business?
Meeting new people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the publicity, and before and afters are fun too, seeing the hard water, the caked on dirt and everything, and being able to also see it all shiny after.
Taking pride in your work.
Exactly.
What's the key to good clean windows?
A good squeegee.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also the beauty about window cleaning. You don't need a lawnmower, you don't have to start out with a huge expense. You can have $100 to start off with, right? You could just an easy start in, and obviously you won't be the best squeegee right away, but you'll definitely build the skill. I didn't know all the things at first, right? No one ever knows all the things at first. So whenever I was starting out, I didn't have the greatest equipment. So being able to practice it and go on my own windows and everything, my mom definitely enjoyed that because she has to clean windows now. Definitely, that's for sure. But, over time, I got practice, did my research and everything. There was this guy named Steve-O, the window cleaner on YouTube. He's one of the guys that's definitely helped me out a ton because he has his own window cleaning business, and just helped me grow for sure. Yeah,
well, that's great you bring that up because I don't think nobody can build a business by themselves.
Right.
It takes a team, and it takes more. And I love the fact that your windows are going to be clean at home because that's a representation of your business, right?
Exactly. Anyone comes in, they know who cleaned them.
Yeah, that's exactly. Oh, look, we got Kent on now. Oh, we can't hear you, Kent.
There. Now maybe you can. There we go.
Yeah.
Glad to meet you. Love what you're doing. When I was your age, I ran a paper route. I had a landscaping business, worked at a local grocery store. So I dig your vibe, brother, which is great. I want to go back to something you talked about a few minutes ago, and that is purchasing a vehicle. Okay. So a lot of small business owners, no matter what age, new in the business, right? You're relatively young. You've had your business for a couple of years now, right? Or the window washing for how long?
Window washing for 1.5 years now.
Perfect. So how do you know it's right? It's a right time to buy, to purchase a vehicle? Because, a lot of entrepreneurs take the money they make and, just keep their account growing. And then, if I need a piece of equipment or whatever, usually when a service industry gets to a point where they start buying fleets, right? And now you'll have your truck and wrap. There's some extensive costs that go into that. Walk me through the process. Do you work with a bookkeeper? Is it your P&L? What are you looking at to say it's time for my business to level up and get a vehicle?
I'm not going to go Dave Ramsey on you, but
that's okay.
I definitely agree that having the money and the funds available at the time that you want the vehicle is definitely one of the most important things, because if you start off with having to get a loan right away, you can't put a down payment on something. I don't think you should get anything, right? Like I'm able to afford pretty big down payment on this truck, and that's going to lower the cost of it per month, right? It's going to be a used truck, but it's going to be a great truck because I have the best mom in the world looking out for me, right? She's going to be able to go on that Facebook Marketplace and, talk to her friends about it and everything. And she can find the great deals. My dad definitely helps with the money side of it and everything. As it has to be on the bank account, right? So he's part of it, of course. Yeah. But yeah, no, I definitely have done my research, and I can't wait.
Nice. Now, when you're going through this, and it sounds like maybe your dad is working as your bookkeeper, accountant, kind of financial advisor, so to speak, right? How
Sort of.
open?
I'm really more of the bookkeeper. I
Okay.
do a lot of the money management. He kind of helps me out with the age aspect of the business bank account.
Sure.
The more complicated side of things, right? I wouldn't just go about buying a truck by myself without him, helping me out with the money side of it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So is there do you get in not a father and son conversation, but more of a business owner and financial guidance person where you're like, listen, bro, I know the numbers here. I know things are good. And I know you're my dad and you're watching out for me, but trust me, I'm making a great business decision here. Or is he like, listen, go to your room. You're grounded.
They're definitely very supportive of me. One of our biggest sayings was "get me to a yes." So if there was something a little bit hesitant in their mind about something I wanted to do, they would say, "Get me to a yes, Grayson," and I would prove to them why this is the right thing, why this is what I want to do.
I love that, and I think that's huge for all business owners of all ages. It doesn't matter what business is. Get me to a yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times business owners, especially young business owners, and when I say that, just time in business, right? Not necessarily age.
I'm still young,
No, I know you're both of them, but Bill's got a lot of senior citizens listening here, so he's really old.
Oh, I thought you were saying I was a senior citizen, and then
well, your grandfather age and whatever, right?
Yeah.
But so the a lot of times young entrepreneurs, and what I mean by young is time in their business, will make business decisions emotionally and not from a business sense, right? It's like, you know what, if I know business isn't great, but man, if I drove around in a new truck, I'd feel good and people would go, he's successful.
That's
right?
that's not what you do. You got to be true to yourself. You have to be honest, and the opportunity will come when it's right. You'll know when it's right. And I mean, with the emotional side of it, it's just be more responsible than that. I mean, you own a business, right? I mean, you're probably making, if you're not making good money, then you got to first find out why you're not making good money and fix that instead of building it on bad roots, right? It's like not having a good foundation when you're building a house. You have to first have the great foundation, and then you can go on and achieve the next goals.
Yep. So
we've reached that. Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about your window washing. I own a storefront, and you come in and your team says, hey man, we'll wash your windows, and I'm like, all right, cool, yeah, it's great. And you give me the bid, and I say, yep, I've got that. You wash my windows then for a month, right? I don't pay you money. Are you and then you come in and I'm like, listen, kid, here's a Coca-Cola and $5, thanks for your time, beat it. Right. So have you found that with your age of 15 is that some of the businesses that you are servicing are looking at you and going, listen, this kid, now I can heavy him because I'm 55 and he doesn't know, I forgot more about business than he knows. Have you run into any of that?
A couple. There's a couple people that have been like that, but I always make it go the opposite direction with confidence and proving them I'm not just going, to clean the windows with paper towels and Windex, right? Windex and that can that says glass cleaner on it. No, that's like cleaning a window with mayonnaise right there. Like, that's what my mom and I say whenever we see the windows. We're like, no. So I have professional equipment, professional solutions, scrubbers and squeegees, and I detail the windows at the end, right? I think I have one of the best window washing businesses in my area.
Nice.
Quality. Your pride is in your quality, doing quality work, and that's outstanding.
And for the price part, it's not just a cola and $5. I have competitive pricing, right? So I definitely do per pane, and whenever I do quotes, I'm very professional and thorough with my examination.
Yeah. But no issues collecting what people owe you.
No, I mean cola would be nice too, though.
Yeah, that's right. That's a nice cool one on the rocks, right?
And that's nice tip, you know.
Yeah, and I think I think at first, just in the listening to the show and the brief moment I'm chatting with you, is I mean, you've got that entrepreneurial heart. You've got the humbleness, of a good Christian guy, and it'd be hard to kind of put you through the ringer, but there are people out there that are always looking to cut your
Take
ankles off,
advantage.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I love that, they may go, oh, look at this little guy. I don't know, you could be 6'4", I don't know, but anyway, look at this young guy, and we'll give him a shot, and then you blow him away. Are you finding that your business now is growing because of referrals from your customers?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I think there's an aspect of it where people are just confused. They're like, "There's no way this is even true." Like,
Right.
let's start the process and then I finish it. Right.
Yeah, I love it. I think that's great.
Yeah. What would you say the bigger percentage of your growth of your business is? Referrals, or you just hustling out there and going door to door?
Lots of word of mouth for sure. Lots of word of mouth. It's like, you get your windows cleaned. 2 nights later, you hang out with close friends and close family. You're like, hey, guess what? This kid, he's 14 years old. He came to my door the other day, and he asked me if he could clean my windows. This is his price. These are how the windows look, the screens look, the tracks look, right? And he can do yours too. So I think definitely word of mouth and referrals are a big part of my business.
That's awesome.
Well, the quality of the work is what brings those
Definitely.
referrals and gets those people introducing you to others.
Mhm.
But that's outstanding. It is. Do you find you have to change your equipment often too? Because you said you started with the cheaper kind of quality equipment, and you work your way up to the finer quality stuff. Do you have to replace that a lot? Is there a lot of overhead costs for that?
Finer quality equipment is that it's more. I would say it's a bit more safe. It's a lot safer for sure because you don't have to go on ladders on the outsides for some houses, right? You got some houses, they want window restoration. I could also do window shine, right? Basically, right? It's another service. It's not the name of it, but it's like a good window clean, and it's a window cleaning service. It's a good view, but I use different equipment for that. So basically, I use poles. So they're called water fed poles.
Okay.
Attached from a hose to a water purification system coming from the homeowner's spigot. Maybe it's storefront's owner's spigot, right? And the water will go through that purification system. It'll get rid of all the minerals and the solids, and then the pure water, 0 TDS. And they get nerdy on you here, but basically what happens is total dissolved solids, right? When something is dissolved, it's in it. So the amount of solids that comes through, when it's 0, it'll dry on the window without any spots.
Yeah.
So you can have that go up a 30-foot tall pole, and you don't have to get any ladder.
I had one of those water systems in my home. The one thing I learned about it was when you water the grass, it doesn't help the grass.
No, because the minerals are what make
There are no minerals. Yeah, it's gone. Right. Yeah, I did, but I had to learn that the hard way. But there was a reverse osmosis is what that's all about.
Exactly. RO, yep. I have a carbon filter, DI, and RO combined in it. It's a multi-stage system. But then I have what I call the beast as well. It's the more expensive side of the systems, right? But it also has a chloramine and a sediment filter in it.
Wow, that's outstanding. So you offer it. This is obviously it's not just cleaning windows, but what are the services that you do offer your clients?
Window cleaning on the interior and exterior, obviously, but then I also do track cleaning and screen cleaning. I can also do foyer light cleaning, cobwebbing and stuff like that.
Okay, but you also talked about like this special shine that you can put on.
Yeah, so special shine, I just mean like a general clean. So sometimes you can do your window restoration. This is specifically for hard water windows. So window shine, it isn't the name of the service, but I just kind of made it. It's kind of just a name that I use for the windows that have hard water. If people don't want to pay the window restoration price, I can make it still look shiny and still look clean, right? So I don't have any special products to make it shine like shine. You know what I mean?
Okay. It's the water.
Exactly.
So, but you don't like Windex, huh?
No.
That's all I have. And my windows are really dirty, so I wish you could come up here.
Yeah,
But
I wish so too.
hard to wash windows when it's 10 degrees outside.
Yeah,
But
well, there are ways for sure. There are definitely ways. I've learned about different ways you could.
yeah.
Yep.
So how often do your clients need your services?
Usually for residential, it's typically in between every 4 and 6 months, depending on.
Okay.
It's kind of depending on the area that they're in.
Okay.
That's usually just for residential, and then for commercial, it's every 2 weeks to every 3 months. It kind of depends, right? That's more on the budget side for them.
Okay. It makes sense. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I things like weather and comes into play, right?
Right.
And you're down in Dallas. You've been experiencing all kinds of weather that you're probably not always accustomed to. These last couple of years with the freeze that's gone on, and then all of a sudden it's 95 degrees.
Luckily, I didn't have the business at the freeze time. That would be insane. Whenever everything froze, that was
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So is there different methods for different temperatures,
Yep.
or different windows, different types of windows?
So there are different types of windows, like hydrophilic and hydrophobic. But I'm not the biggest window specific. I don't replace windows, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, if you need windows replaced, though, call Southern Living Windows. That's my window replacement company that I work with. So Southern Living Windows, great guy, Mr. Chris. Anyway, some windows are hydrophilic or hydrophobic. That only really matters though if you're doing water fed, because water fed will cascade water down the window if it's hydrophilic. But hydrophobic means it'll kind of just bounce off. You know what I mean?
Okay. So it's a window that's afraid of water.
Exactly.
Okay.
Window that's afraid of water. So that, and then there's also in the cold, whenever you're cleaning windows in the cold, you have to use a specific solution, or else it'll freeze if it's below freezing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to make your solution not freeze on the window, when you put it on the window, you combine windshield washer fluid. So obviously that doesn't freeze, so it'll mix in there with the solution. You put less soap, and it'll foam up real good. Put it on the window, and you're fine. Yeah.
That's outstanding. It's kind of like de-icing a plane.
Exactly. Yep.
Before you fly out. So that's really interesting.
Yeah.
So you're still holding on to the golf cart?
Yep, definitely. I use it every day. It's awesome. I love the golf cart. I just got new back tires put on it, so it's got great tread.
So you don't have a brick and mortar place. You're working from out of your home?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have plans on potentially opening up office space?
Potentially probably a smaller office to run the communications, right? And hiring someone who can do the communication aspect of it, right? Keep some of the equipment there, but kind of a smaller, I guess, like a smaller version of a warehouse. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you probably want to get some type of an assistant to schedule.
I do have an assistant right now. She's the greatest one, and she's my mom. She's my momager is what I call her, my manager momager. So she'll help me out a lot, but she definitely does a lot of communicating for me.
Oh, that's outstanding. Well, obviously, you said time is one of the biggest issues that you have, trying to squeeze everything in. And I know there's much more to you than just doing this business and your school. I know you do retreats. You have other things and activities in your life. Are you playing any sports?
No, sir. I'm way too busy for sports, but I go to a lot of Christian youth groups. So I do my church's youth nights on Wednesdays, right? I go to church on Saturdays, and then sometimes that doesn't work, so I go in the mornings on Sunday, right? But just kind of whatever works with the family. And then I also do another thing called Young Life. So Young Life is a youth-based Christian, basically like a Christian group that it's all over America, right? But it's in my area, so I'll meet up with other kids about my age. Usually Young Life is high schoolers, then Wild Life is middle schoolers. But I'll meet up with them. We'll go do something. There's like a campaigners every Sunday or so. There's Monday night club and stuff like that. But it's
Yeah.
a great thing. There's sermons and times, and it's great.
So you're bouncing a lot of things around, and and I understand how time can be
Mhm.
challenging. But once again, if you look into look up Grayson's business, we go to what's the website?
GKswindowcleaning.com.
GK's, so GKSwindowcleaning.com.
Yep.
I believe the logo is on the hat he's wearing today.
Yep.
Hold that up, yeah.
Yep.
There it is.
New hat. Yep. It's really good. It's got that logo.
That's
on it.
awesome.
Yep.
GKSwindowcleaning.com.
So yes, GK's. So here's my business card. Actually, I'll show you. But
Business card. He's got LinkedIn. I have one of those cards.
yeah. Yep. It's great. So
Yeah.
GK stands for Grayson Kailani because I was born in Hawaii, but I lived there for the first year of my life. Grayson Kailani Soderholm is my full name.
Okay.
Yep.
Outstanding. So yeah, you've been around. You've done some traveling. Hawaii and Japan and
Yep.
Dallas. Now, are your plans are staying in Dallas?
Yeah, for a while for sure.
Okay.
Yep.
Because the business you have is transportable.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. That's what I love about it.
Yeah. No, I'm sure you thought about that, but that's incredible. What else do you like about being an entrepreneur?
The independence and the freedom, the opportunity to say that I did this, and I'm definitely very blessed. So God has given me lots of opportunities, and I'm very grateful for that. And so that's probably one of the biggest parts of it.
Well, there are two kinds of people really in the world, and those who live by default and those who live with intent. Clearly, you live with intent. And the independence is a sign that says the corporate world probably isn't a very good place for you. I imagine. Kent, did you have a?
Yeah. Hey, as I'm jumping in, and I'm in and out, I'm like a burger. Thank you very much. All right. What do you tell 35-year-olds, 40-year-olds, right, who maybe have been laid off, down in the dumpers, and they're like, man, I should start a business. I thought about it. I don't know. In your networking and in your professional career, you're probably talking with people who are old to you, right? I mean, young to Bill, but most everybody is. Good
point.
But what kind of advice would you give, somebody who's 38 and is scared, right? To start to make that leap of faith into being an entrepreneur?
Well, actually, one of the books behind me right there, that red one, that's definitely it's a very good book, and it speaks a lot on that. It's about taking an entrepreneurial leap. It's called Leap. It's by Gino Wickman. It's a really good book, but it talks about how being an entrepreneur is a really genetical thing too. So you kind of have to have the mindset for it. You have to be able to withstand the pressure that you get from it, and you have to have that drive, that work ethic, the grit. You got to be able to get down and focus on that situation, that problem, whatever it is, and then make it right.
I love it. Now, when we're talking about that, and you're talking to somebody about being an entrepreneur, Bill, does the dog need to go outside?
I think so. She's getting riled up about something here. She just came and looked at me like, "Did you see what's going on out here?"
Like, it must be a squirrel outside.
Absolutely.
So now that is great advice, and I absolutely love it. And how I know that you're a successful businessman is you referred right to a book that you read. You're standing on the shoulders of giants. It's not like you're just out there going, hey, let's just throw a dart in the dark. I mean, that was a strong question, and you answered it exactly where I'm like, man, this guy knows what he's doing. Yeah, I mean, I
really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah,
well, Ken, I love how you bring this up, because a lot of people have left their jobs over the last couple of years, going out thinking they're going to start their own business, and they don't understand just how challenging and difficult it is. And there's no easy task. It's not. I mean, you didn't just say, "Oh, I got this idea about window cleaning, and let's just go buy some equipment and start washing." You put a lot of time and energy and thought into this, and growing it, and you continue to think about the different ways in which to grow it, and provide yourself with independence as well.
Right.
Now, as you're going along, and who's your best friend in the world?
My dogs.
There you go. Now think of like a neighborhood kid, or we'll just say Jimmy, right? Let's say Jimmy is your best friend, because you have a social circle that you run in as a 15-year-old, right? And that's soon to expand because you're going to be driving.
Oh yeah.
I'm really busy, so I don't even have a lot of time to hang out with friends.
Okay.
And I don't even really have a best friend who I hang
So
out
to
with.
speak, right?
Like how busy I am.
Now, but the question would be, with those people who know you, do they come up and be like, "Hey, man, can I work for you? How do I get a job?" Are a lot of high school kids coming to you and saying, "Hey, man, I want to do this too. How do I do this?" Are they coming to you for advice?
Okay, so here's the deal. So I did public school for a while, right? And when I moved to online academy, it was about a year. It was a year and a half ago. Year and a half ago when I started the business. So we are against the public school system, and being against that, we're finding different things like a Christian in-person school, called Grapevine Faith. That was the first one on our list. But then, after thinking about the financial side of things, we decided to go with a different option and a more available option, which was Ignite Christian Academy, the one that I do now. So, being online here. Can you repeat the question? I'm so sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, do you have a lot of people, a lot of high school people your age asking, "Hey, can I do this? How do you do this?" Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was in public school, I was known to be the kid with the lemonade stand. Like, she has a simple lemonade stand. But to me, it was more than that, because it was the start of what I knew was going to be my big entrepreneurial journey. And when I started my window cleaning business, and different kids from middle school, hearing about it, who are now in high school, but actually a little bit behind me, because I'm a bit ahead of them in the school area. I'm able to get ahead, right?
Right.
And hearing of me now, they're kind of like, "Dang, I wish I had stuck with that friend, a bit longer." But you see, I don't think you should have, get out of my circle. I just think they're not the friends that God wants me to have, because God will put the situations in your life that, he wants you to be there. He knows what you can handle. So God knew I could handle this, and this was just the next step. So
Yeah.
I've had definitely a lot of friends come like past friends who
Gotcha.
past
So,
enemies too, I thought were enemies, have now great friends for me.
really?
They come
Well,
to me.
you made it a point earlier to say that you look for specific talents in people, and specific attributes, that it's not just anybody who can come work for you. And I would, how many of these kids that come up to you looking for a job are kind of the kids that you're saying, it's not who I want, it's not the personality I want?
I mean, you can tell right away. I mean, I can definitely tell right away when a kid has the entrepreneurial drive. Not even like sometimes you can tell when a kid is able to run the business or be a follower, right? So
Okay.
I'm my business, I like to say, is owned by God, right? So if someone I know is wanting to be an employee of mine, right?
Yeah.
God will tell me, and God will tell me if it's right or not. I'll pray about it, right? But I can always tell when someone has the grit. Grit is a very, very big word in between my family, and grit and determination, right? Is a big thing, because you have to know that person, you're able to trust them with your equipment. You're able to trust that they'll speak to the customer personably, right?
Yeah. That's they're representing you.
Correct. Yep.
So I've been an entrepreneur most of my life too, as I said. I've owned a coffee shop. I got a lot of deep scars from failures, right?
Mhm.
And those are part of the story. And I'm going to ask you a question that employers ask, and I'll tell you the way that I answered it. I was after going through the failure of my coffee shop. I had a wife and two kids, and I needed to find a job, and so I'm interviewing, and the interviewer says, "Okay, where do you see yourself in 5 years?"
Mm.
Right.
Mm.
And so I laughed, just kind of like you did. I laughed at him, and it offended me. He goes, well, why is that funny? I said, well, if you had asked me 5 years ago, it wouldn't be sitting in front of you answering this silly question today.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
I
so
totally agree.
so as you look, and we do our best to follow the path that God lays out in front of us. When you're 40, what's the dream? Well, I mean, what have you thought? Have you dreamed so big that you're like, and 40 is old, right? So where are you the next, uh, Bezos? Are you know what I'm saying? What do you
Not
see? Yeah, what do you? Well, not necessarily him or his personality. I'm just saying,
Elon Musk is better.
yeah.
He's a better
where
example.
where do you see yourself?
So, I want to be a very influential person, and I want to be able to, you know, show to everyone that I'm a follower, and that I guess the reason why I don't have a huge explanation and a big answer to that is because I'm just focused on the day by day thing, right? I'm focused on
Yeah.
this next week. Like I'm super busy. I have a house after this call. I'm very focused on the next thing, the next step. I have a next step mindset, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm not too focused on what I want to do when I'm 40. Right? I obviously am going to be an entrepreneur still. I'm going to be an entrepreneur until the day I die. Right?
Right. Yep.
But I want to be very influential.
Yeah,
That's
and the perfect trait of an entrepreneur.
Mhm.
Always thinking ahead, thinking forward, but being in the moment.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And your walk is on your journey is influencing. I mean, it's influencing to, and right now, you're influencing a ton of people around the
Yeah.
world. Being a guest on this show and speaking at the events that you've spoken at as well. I mean, you're a huge disruptor in the world, right? Not too
Right.
many young men are going to have the cojones to say, you know what, I'm not going to college. It isn't for me. I'm not falling into that narrative. I'm not going to follow that path. We chose to move away from public school because of what's being taught there and whatnot. I mean, that's, buddy. I mean, that's you want to be an influencer and be influential, not necessarily an online influencer, but you want to be influential. You're doing it, bro, and that. I mean, you got to wake up every morning when your feet hit the ground and thank God that you're doing that, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I've been very blessed lately, and I just cannot wait to see what happens this year.
Yeah.
Well, that's the hard part, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where the patience comes in and the maturity, right?
I'm not very patient, so I'm an entrepreneur by spirit. I just know it. My genes, very very much.
So
Yeah.
a question that came in, got texted to me just a minute ago. That's why I was looking at the phone. Was, do you have a business plan for your business, or are you the entrepreneur who just puts the head down and goes?
Definitely a business plan. I'm always working towards the next goal and the next step. Right? It's like whenever I hit my first, like let's say my lemonade stand, for example. Right? I wanted to have this banner, so how much money would I need? And then I got that money, right? That was my mindset. So when I hit that first $1,000, I was like, okay, next step is 10,000. I'm gonna get there, but I'm not focused on 100,000. I'm not focused on $1 million. I'm not focused on buying a Bugatti, right? I'm focused on the next step that I want. I want to add another figure to that number. So just looking through the next available options and the next sustainable ways of growing a business, right? And praying about it. Window cleaning came into my area. Yeah. So definitely having a business plan is my thing. I have on my whiteboard right there. I say I want to buy a $30,000 truck, put down this much of a down payment, pay off that much in that time. I have the interest, right? I have all the things on there because I'm very planned out, and I know how much left I need. I know when I'm going to make that. I know all the things.
That's awesome. Yeah, and there's where a lot of business people fall short, right?
Yes, they do.
Is they don't. And even though you have that business plan, what's your pivot, right? So all of a sudden, down there in Texas, people decide to get rid of the windows in their house, and you're just like, wait, what? What's your pivot? How do you face that when you look at that whiteboard and go, oh, this big hurdle just came in my way? What's your thought process planning through that?
So the good thing is that won't happen. I just know. But when you're
things could happen where clients
clients
drop off, and
exactly. The slow season, for example, winter just passed. I had to figure out a way where I could make money. Like, luckily, I'm 14. I don't buy my own groceries, and I don't have a family I need to feed, right? So being able to have this step in my life before I have to afford that, will definitely be very, very beneficial, because right now is where I'm starting the business. I mean, in my business, I've made over $50,000, and that's in the first year and a half owning my business. I can only imagine what's going to happen when I'm older, right? So this is a very, very important and crucial part of my entrepreneurial journey, because this is where I learn the problems and sometimes you learn, sometimes you learn, right?
Right. And to have a good momager is
exactly. That's true. Yep.
that can always help. But yeah, it's but you're growing it and you're continuing to grow. So I mean, even your plans today for your truck, and you're saying, okay, we have enough income to cover this cost per month with the insurance and whatnot, and but then you're still growing even more. So you'll be able to continue making your plans. Again, I hope you're able to find good employees, because I know that can be a challenge.
Yeah. Yes.
But,
thank you.
Let's point out one more time. It's gkswindowcleaning.com.
Yes.
Is the website.
Windowcleaning.com. My email is gkswindowcleaning, GKS windowcleaning @gmail.com. And my number is 469-559-6731.
Outstanding.
And if you're outside of that area and you just have questions for
Feel
Grayson,
free to send me a text or an email. I would be more than happy to answer that for you.
Yep. If you're stuck right now, and listen, if you're stuck and you've leveled out your business, or you think you've leveled, send him a text, send him an email. Right? Here's a brilliant businessman who understands things and has some procedures and processes put in place to win. And to me, that's worth its weight in gold. I'm blessed to be able to have you here on 216 and to get to know you kind of virtually, and I hope that our relationship continues to flourish. God always puts people in your path for either a reason, a season, or a lifetime. So
reason for everything.
Yep. Anything we can do ever for you as well, my friend, don't hesitate to reach out.
Definitely. Sure. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, this time has gone by so quickly. It felt like I just joined this 10 minutes ago, but dang.
Yeah.
It does. But it's been a lot of fun. And as Ken said, you truly are an inspiration, not just to young people, but to people of all ages who are starting businesses. And there's over 15 million of those folks in the last 3 years that have been registering businesses. So we do want to thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
But I doubt as many of them are hitting the ground running as hard as you are, though.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's it, brother. And may God continue to shine a light on your path, man.
Thank you
And
so
good
much.
luck. And
Yeah.
be blessed. And
You
anything
do.
we got to do, let us know.
God bless you guys. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Grayson, thanks for coming on the show, and thanks
Thank you.
for everyone for listening in.
Yes, thank you.